Hey guys, this is Corey, founder of the Showdown Battle League and former coach of the Atlanta Braviaries. And today we are going to be doing a Season 2 Draft Analysis video. I am joined by Jack, who is the coach of the Toronto Talon Flames. I've got Christian, coach of the Seattle Sylveons, and I've got Carlos, coach of the Diamond Springs Dialgas. You guys all want to say hi?
What's up, guys? This is Jack, coach of the Toronto Talon Flames, and I'm looking forward to this analysis video.
What's up, Interweb? This is Biscuit here, aka Christian, and I'm the coach of the Seattle Sylveons.
Hey, this is Carlos, coach of the Diamond Springs Dialgas, also known as Wonder Trainer.
Alright, so we're going to jump right into it. We're going to start with the Irvine Igglybuffs, coached by Chabin. And as you can see, he's got Mega Steelix, Tyranitar, Celebi, Zoomerl, Crobat, Arcanine, Dragalge, Alomomola, Lifeheart, Quagsire, and Mawile. So what do you guys think about this? I think it's going to be a threat this season.
Yeah, I like this team a lot. Mega Steelix is an interesting pick, but that would be out in the bullet court. Like, that's already a really common thing in RU. Some great defensive mons with Quagsire and Arcanine too, and Crobat. Like, you can use these things defensively. Like, Celebi's hard to prepare for. Like, this team's really got a bit of everything. I think it's going to be both tough to break defensively, along with some really good offensive mons.
Yeah, one mon that I really like that's I find to be underrated is Liepard. Even though it's not bulky really at all, the Prankster is really nice with T-Wave, and for being such a low tier pick. I think there's only, I was looking into it the other night, three or four mons with Prankster who also learn T-Wave, so it's definitely a really helpful asset.
Yeah, Liepard was definitely one of my picks, like one of my most wanted picks, but like I just he got it, and that's super unfortunate. But one thing that I do have to say is Fire, Water, Grass Core with the Alomomola and the Zoomerl both. It's really interesting. I think that he's gonna fall in love with Arcanine simply because everyone who uses Arcanine in the format pretty much does. It's such a good mon. But
Yeah, I'm excited to see Arcanine. It's one of my favorites, especially if he uses it defensively. That's how I like to use it when I play with it. But I'm really excited to see his immune picks as well. I think they're very well drafted, and they're all going to be a threat this season. So one of the things we're going to do this draft analysis, we're going to give every team a rating that we feel out of 10 points, with 10 being the best. So we're going to start with the Irvine Igglybuffs. If you guys had to give that a rating, what do you think it would be?
I'm gonna give it I get 8 out of 10. I think it's a really good draft. I can't see any like really big problems with it. The only thing is there's not too much power right off the bat. Well, there is some power, like your Galaxy, like Fate, Choice Band, Zoomerl. I don't know, like I think it's a good team. I think it's really balanced. Like it's good. It's not like a perfect draft though. Just trying to look for flaws in it though.
Yeah, I think I agree. Oh, sorry.
you go.
Okay. Yeah, I'd pretty much have to agree with that. I mean, even though it's not overwhelmingly offensive of a team, there's nothing that I see that's wrong with it, so I'd have to give it an 8.
Yeah, definitely. I think 8 is probably the best score for it. It's more like rookie offensive. We haven't seen Chabin's Irvine Igglybuffs battling skills yet, so I think it'll definitely be next.
Yeah, he's definitely could be a wild card with skill level and all of that. So we're going to go ahead and agree with an 8 on Chabin's team, and we're going to go ahead and move on. So next up we have the Indigo Lasers, coached by Jay. We got a Mega Charizard X, who's an MVP for Season 1. We got a Sylveon, Jirachi, Chandelure, Haxorus, Toxicroak, Scrafty, Sneasel, Rotomef, Doris, and Shiftry. What do we think of this team?
That mascot's nice though.
Oh yeah.
Mascot's good. That's
it's really weak to ground type.
Yeah. I agree with that.
This team kind of reminds me of my Season 1 team, and unfortunately I don't really say that in a good way, because my Season 1 team is overly offensive, and I found I had really few bulky ones other than like blissing him on top, and those got really predictable. His only real wall is Sylveon, and unless you want to run like Charizard X bulky or like Scrafty bulky, so it might be tough to sort of find switch-ins for different mons. And he's also got some like pretty big weaknesses like fighting. His last 4 picks, all of them are weak due to like double weak. Although he has a really good carry drag steel core with his OU picks, and there's definitely a lot of power in fighting. Zard X, you can't sleep on that thing. It's so powerful.
I know, I think extra drill comes in with the time.
Yeah, that's a good one. I do think that he had really good OU picks. I think it kind of went away after that. Maybe UUs were pretty good also. But I think his later drafts were potentially leaving some gaps in his coverage.
He has like 3 ice types, which like you get. It's fine to like draft multiple types, like as long as you cover the weaknesses of course. But like ice isn't that like I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. Like for multiple drafts.
Well, I think what Jay decided to do is in season 1, half of his team was weak to ice, so I think he decided to just go all out and draft all the ice types this time.
Yeah, and Jirachi is going to be super annoying. So I'm not looking forward to that.
One problem I have with this is I like Haxorus and I like Mega Charizard X, but they tend to do similar things with Dragon Dance and stuff. You can run bulky Charizard, but you're not really going to be bringing both in a week. And I mean, yeah, they're nice, but I feel like he'll tend to bring Mega Charizard X every time over Haxorus.
Yeah. One other thing I want to point out quickly is he has a lot of rock weaknesses, including Charizard X, Chandelure, Rotom, Aurora. It's like a bunch of rock weaknesses, and his only method of hazard removal is Shiftry with Defog, and that's just going to be a struggle, I think. Because if you set up rocks, suddenly you're doing so much damage for his team. Like, unless you also want to run Defog Charizard, but that's just not a thing.
Yeah, he's either going to have to lead with Charizard to get it in and Mega Evolve it quick, or he's going to have to run Roost on it.
I mean, he has default on Shiftry, but I don't really know if he's ready to bring that.
Yeah, like then if you bring Charizard, you basically have to bring Shiftry too, and like that's like tons of rock weaknesses, so that could definitely be a problem.
So many ice types, fire types. I don't really think you can just get up a bunch of hazards and that's on. Well, I don't have to play him, so I don't get 6 out by Charizard X.
Week 1 matchup.
So if you guys had to give him a rating, where are we going to go?
4 out of 10.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, that's harsh. I'd go with 6 out of 10, just because like Charizard X, like one Dragon Dance and you could lose unless you prepare. Like 6 out of 10, I'd say.
Yeah, I guess with Brian going all out with the 4, I think he said, I'm gonna go with 5. That's what I was thinking, but I thought that'd be a little harsh, but I guess not.
Somebody's got to be that guy.
I think 5. I think 5 is mainly where I would put him back, mainly because of such an offensive presence. But then, like at the beginning of this draft, with his OU picks, yeah, definitely his synergy isn't that good.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 5 also. I think his OU picks started out really well, and then they just kind of fell off towards the end a little bit. But it'll be interesting to see how well he uses his team, and he may surprise all of us and have Charizard be the MVP again. So we'll give him a 5 out of 10. And next up, we've got the Philadelphia Flygoners, the Season 1 champions. We've got Noah, who's the coach of that team, bringing Mega Gyarados, Latios, Landorus T, Rotom, Heat, Doublade, Umbreon, Exploud, Hitmonlee, Scyther, Vileplume, and Regirock. What do you guys think of that?
Not looking forward to this. Noah's in my division, not looking forward to this team. It's super scary. Such an offensive presence. Rotom Heat, which I actually really wanted to draft, he's sniping me. Rando too.
Yeah, I see a lot of offense, but I'm more looking at the round 2 to 5 picks. Landorus T, Rotom Heat, Doublade, and Umbreon. They're all really bulky. It's going to be really hard to kill. And he has Regirock and Vileplume. It's going to be a pain to get rid of all of this stuff. And body attitude.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely think Regirock is definitely undervalued in this league. Like it's a solid rock setter. It learns Thunder Wave and it's pretty bulky in its defenses. So I definitely think that he's like stole that. Definitely, I think in like round 9 through 11. Yeah, it's definitely a good score.
Yeah. That was the last round.
Yeah, really good team. Bit of an ice weakness, but he's also got decent amount of ice resist. It's not that big of a deal. Like, I'm looking at his team. Like, he got a really good bulky core, like Duke Blade, Unreal, and Rookie. Like, super tough to break. He got X-Blad that can come in with Scrappy Boomer, Specs, and like Oko, almost anything. And yeah, Scyther, I don't know, I'm not too sold in it because of that rock weakness. You basically have to say, I'm bringing Scyther, and I'm also bringing Latias with Fog. But other than that, I don't see too many problems with this team. And obviously, it's a great coach. He'll do good things with it.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see how he uses Mega Gyarados. I know because of our rule about Mega Evolving turn 1, that'll give it a little bit harder of a time to get in and do its job. But I think it'll be definitely an interesting Mega to see in action this season.
Yeah, definitely. I think like Megas, personally for me, Mega Gyarados, like I know nothing about it, so I'm gonna have to really do my research on that.
The nice thing about Gyarados is it has a lot of coverage. I've noticed. I was using it in OU recently, and it seemed like I'd set up a Dragon Dance and then just sweep every team with it. And it was, if you're not careful, it can just set up all over some certain mons.
Yeah, I think it's one of those, if people are not prepared for it, it can be kind of like Charizard last season. If you're not prepared for it, it can run all over you.
Let's just not speak about that.
So if you guys had to give this a ranking, what are we going to give it?
We had 9 out of 10. So I don't know. It's hard to believe in the perfect drafts. Like, there's a bit of a nice weakness, but 9 out of 10, really solid drafts.
I think I'm looking at a Mega Gardevoir right now. It's like Doublade can really beat it. That's like the one weakness I see is Fairy, maybe Ghost coverage. But aside from that, it's a really solid draft. I'd give it 9 out of 10.
Yeah, considering that we gave Angry Buffs 8 out of 10, I think this is definitely a little step up. So yeah 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you guys. Give that a 9 out of 10 as well. I think Blade's going to be one that's going to be a little bit underrated, but can definitely win him some matches. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the Seattle Sylveons, coached by Christian. And,
represent!
Definitely the worst team in the league. Definitely by far. Give them a 0 out of 10.
Yeah, not sure about their coach.
What's that? I couldn't hear you over my playoff win against you last season.
Luckily, his team is led by Mega Gardevoir, which we will not see this season because he doesn't like to bring his Mega. So we won't see that. But other than Mega Gardevoir, we've got Crawdon, Excadrill, Entei, Forretress, Salamence, Jellicent, Rizzion, Weezing, Lantern, and Zangoose. What do you guys think of this team?
I think this is overall one of the best drafts. I think it is really good. You can tell the cores are on his mind. We've got Fairy, Steel Dragon, then Fire, Water, Grass right off the bat. There's definitely a lot of power to it too, Crawdon. Like, that thing just destroys things, so does Zangoose. I do think there are a few monotonous picks though. I know I got flack for saying this, but I think Fortress and Excadrill do the same thing, except Fortress is worse at it, although Excadrill is more offensive. And you're probably not going to bring both, so you're going to have to choose one or two, and most of the time you're going to pick Excadrill. And same thing with Lantern, like, you have two bulky waters, but both are weak to grass, so I don't know. I think it's a really good draft. I just feel like two of those picks are kind of anonymous in a way.
The thing about Fortress, I think you can bring hyper offense with Custap Fortress. That is an option for him, because he can bring Gardevoir, Excadrill, Mence, Entei, Crawdon. He has a lot of offensive threats, and with Rock Spike Lead, it'll be pretty powerful. But I do agree that Excadrill and Fortress isn't exactly perfect together.
So, funny story, I was actually in the Showdown chat talking to this super MLG, not really, guy, and he was basically just recommending me Fortress after seeing my draft, which I don't know why I listened to him. And he was basically like justifying it, saying, oh, the explosion is gonna happen.
Normal gem.
Normal gem boosted, the explosion's gonna feel so good. And about Lantern, it definitely is like more just another bulky water, same as Jellicent, but I kind of realized too late I didn't draft an electric type, and like I don't know. I felt like I needed one, but I could have picked something better, like elective wire, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's also, we haven't mentioned yet, like that's why free agency is going to be big this season. You know, you will have that opportunity to like swap, like we're doing 2 picks this season from you or below. So like some teams have a problem like that, they can fix that. But yeah, I think elective wire would have worked way better than that's electric type.
Can't believe did he even get picked?
No, it didn't actually.
Oh wow.
I don't think it's been picked either season.
Wow. Elective wire is such a powerhouse in any. Like I'm so surprised by that.
I think it's pretty good in the
but
league
yeah.
format. So you can bring, it's got really good coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Zangoose was a bit more of my wild card spot, like my last pick or one of my last picks, besides Crawdon, and I'm not sure how it'll do. I know that it's really hard, but it's also really frail.
I think it's good just for priority. Like it's kind of like a panic button, but you also have Entei and Crawdon for that. So who knows?
I'm really excited to see how well you use Weezing this season. That's, I think, one of the best in-year picks. Definitely one of my favorite, and as you guys all saw last season, it completely shuts down physically oriented teams because things like Mega Lopunny and McTeeny cannot get around it.
Yes, definitely.
Is that in the headbutt?
Yeah, well, every time I decided to bring that, I talked myself out of it.
And Crawdon was my last draft, I think, and it was simply because I didn't have a dark type yet. Oh no, I'm gonna get 6-0'd by Remix, or I'm really powerful, Psychic type.
Yeah.
One
Pretty
combo.
much the only one right now, actually. In this draft, but I'm looking around. But I don't know. I think that's the only powerful second. But I might bring a Tricker instead quickly, just gonna say.
Did you say Hoopa Unbound is not a powerful psychic type?
Hoopa Unbound, I consider Hoopa more of a dark.
Nah, I'm just joking. But yeah, overall, yeah, Christian, you did a really good job in this draft, and I'm looking forward to see how you use it. I think that's going to be sort of the, like I think it's definitely like a top draft. I'm just curious to see like if you can sort of realize its potential, so to speak.
Hopefully. I've not been known to execute well on my teams, like with team building, but hopefully I'll do good. Yeah.
So what do you guys want to give Christian on his
Like
score?
a million out of 10.
I want to say 8, mostly because you can't really switch into flying stats. That's like the main thing I'm seeing. He doesn't like, because I see Lantern, right? But Lantern isn't gonna take Brave Bird or something else. Pretty much anything.
Yeah, like Lantern, it depends. Like if you're using Lantern just to counter like a Brave Bird mon, like just to counter Talon's Blade, that could be pretty good. It's just if you're using Lantern to cover multiple different things at once, because of its lack of recovery, that'll be an issue. But I don't know. I'd say again, like I don't really know if I can give a perfect score. I think it's a 9 out of 10. It's a good draft. Like even not this picks, but it's good.
I would give it like a 9.1. I'd say something like, I don't want to give it a 10 since, like you guys said, no perfect draft, but I like it a little better than Noah's team. Even though there are a few picks that overlap, I feel like if you take like 5 out of the top 6 on this slide every week, you're just going to tear through most teams and not have to worry all too much about bulk, but you still have other mons like Weezing to support that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's up there with Noah, if not a little bit higher than his. So that's definitely a front runner for best draft, in my opinion. Alright, we're going to move on to Kevin and the Baltimore Honchcrows. We've got Mega Altaria, Slowbro, Thunderous Eye, Mamoswine, Darmanitan, Blissey, Braviary, Seismatone, Hitmonchan, Ditto, and Rhydon.
This is a really, really good draft, in my opinion.
I love Mega Altaria, like one of the best Megas ever, and it's just like so. It's mixed with both, but also it has like an offensive side that like it's so balanced.
I'm just wondering, do we have like a Metagross ban?
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
Yeah, I was wondering, no one picked it because it's great in the week.
I want to stop at Magnezone. Draft Magnezone, everybody.
Yeah, I think just looking at this tape, I'm going to go ahead and say Mega Altaria with all the possibilities it can run, it's probably one of, if not the best Mega in the League format. As we saw last season, it was not the MVP, but it racked up one less kill than both the MVPs, and it was only used for half the season. Scolipede was the true MVP, but he was robbed. But yeah, I think Mega Altaria is really something everyone's going to have to look out for on every match with Kevin. And unfortunately, it seems to be that way with just about everything he drafted. You look at Mammal Swine, check a lot of things. Blissey, you can't, it's hard to get around Blissey. I think his later drafts were not bad, but they weren't as good as they could have been, I think. Although one, I'm really curious to see how he uses Ditto. I think that could be a kind of a game changer, how he uses it.
Yeah, I think his offensive options are like Thunderous, Mamswine, Mega Altaria. They're really good. Darmanitan, I think it's like a truck. And also Blissey, Slowbro. That's disgusting core. Like, how do you break that? But few ice weaknesses, few grass weaknesses, like Seismitoad and Rhydon, as well as like Mamswine, Slowbro.
Cody.
And also his only method of hazard removal, if they don't
sandwich is sitting on that ground. Just
Gen
sitting
5 is Hitmonchan. And Hitmonchan
just a second, I'll be there.
is the greatest spinner. So that might be a bit of a problem, but it's just a really good draft. And yeah, as I said, I'm really interested to see how he's getting it. It can really make or break this team. When used well, it's just so hard to stop.
Yeah, one thing I was looking at when I was thinking about how I wanted to play against this team was that Hitmonchan being his only form of hazard control. Unless he like dittos my hit and help. So the thing I really feel is like you can just get up a bunch of hazards, you see a bunch of weaknesses. Thunderous Eye doesn't go in on much hazard as well. Darmanitan, attacking, you can wear down the team pretty well if you can look for both turn for, but it will be very difficult to play.
And one thing that I personally love is Mamoswine, because in this format especially, Mamoswine is so powerful. I just can't wait to see how he uses it. But really good draft, definitely.
I'd have to say my favorite thing about it is having Slowbro with Mega Altaria, because I feel like they really complement each other. And like an Ice type move or a Dragon type, well, not Dragon, mainly just Ice type moves to Mega Altaria. Slowbro can eat those, and knock off Mega Altaria can just switch into that and won't care.
Yeah, and he also has Slowbro to switch into those ice moves.
And Mamoswine has fixed that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and start the ranking up. I'm going to give this team a 10 out of 10. I think it's the best team that's been drafted.
I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 9.5. I'm holding to that there's no perfect draft, but at the same time, it's just so good. 9.5.
I gotta agree with that.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Just I do think the rocks weakness could be an issue. Like Darmanitan loves to be turning all over the place, but if you have rocks up, it's gonna really hinder its ability to just do that. And just only Hitmonchan has removal.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 9 out of 10 too. Same reason with the rocks. There are definitely a few mons on his team that don't appreciate that.
So I think for this one, we're going to go ahead and average it out and give him a 9.5. Next up, we've got the Oakland Azelfs. We've got coached by Joshua, Mega Diancie, Trans, Scolipede, Suicune, Cobalion, Tornadus Eye, Meloetta, Amoonguss, Skuntank, Robopass, and Archeops.
A lot of like fighting rocks. Like he has rocks, like 3 rocks or something, and 2 steals. 3 steals? No, 2 steals. 3 steals. 3 steals. Still the fastest rock steal. That's what I'm seeing right now. Like steel fighting might be a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, Joshua at the draft. You wanna go?
No, you.
Okay. I think Joshua at the draft talked a lot about how he got getting sniped on things like Tyranitar, Sandcore, like Mega Venusaur, stuff like that. I'm wondering if this is the draft he really wanted when he started off, or if it kind of got diluted because he kept on missing out on picks. And I'm gonna be honest, I actually liked his draft from last season better. Like, this one's got a lot of water weaknesses. It's got some electric weaknesses, and because it's not the ground type, something like Raikou can just bolt switch over anything. Because you're gonna have to go into Moongus, and then the other team's just gonna get initiative. And yeah, I don't know. There's, like, it's good. Like, the Sweet Pikachu and Moongus core is disgusting. Scald Team can definitely be a threat, and Mega Diancie used it pretty well last season. But there are definitely some big weaknesses there. And not sold on things like Probo Pass.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Probo Pass either. So I'm gonna regret my words and just have some exceptions. Earth powers me.
Oh, doesn't it get Magnetful actually?
It gets Magnetful, yeah, that's what
Oh, right. Oh, never mind.
I got Magnet Rise.
Yeah.
I think HP Fire is like the best.
There's definitely some really powerful mons, like, you know, he's comfortable with Mega Diancie from last season, and Heatran and Suicune. But, yeah, there's a lot of weaknesses to him. His team doesn't synergize, like, as a whole. Like, obviously the Fire, Water, Grass core is really good, but, like, as a whole, it doesn't. And I think that's where he's going to find a lot of struggles. Despite him drafting School. Corey, do you have anything to say about that?
I think that Scolipede is the most powerful Pokemon that has ever been made, and I really think that we should just go ahead and give it MVP now, because he's going to 6-0 everybody with it. So, also, I really am excited to see how he uses Meloetta and Skuntank, because I think those are some
really wanted Skuntank to draft. That's why I have Drapion now. I really wanted Skuntank because it's really good versus Koopa U. It's got good deep. It's a great deep logger. It's got fire blast. It's like pretty creative, and it's really annoying between Rocky Helmet and very aftermath. Contact moves. So
I like Archeops because its special attack stat is better than Infernape's, and that's just stupid.
that's pretty fun. But the neck is like half. Below half.
Oh yeah, it's like it's an NU for a reason, but it actually is pretty complicated. 100 total attack, like
It
force
lost that.
damage.
If it lost that ability, it'd be really.
It would probably OU definitely.
Imagine Mold Breaker Arceus.
Please no.
Mega Arceus, I'm ready. Alright. What do you guys give this team?
I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to give it, I'm really torn between a 6.5 and a 7.
I'm gonna give it a 7 because I can see the potential, despite like maybe not the best drafts. And it like Jack said, who knows if this was like his original or like close to his original draft that he wanted, or because he said that he got sniped a lot. So I'm gonna give him faith and say 7.
I'm gonna say 6. Like, even though like he probably didn't end up getting everything he wanted, that doesn't like make his team as it is now better. I think he has a lot of weaknesses, like fighting, stacking up. You know, he's got Scolipede for fighting, but Scolipede doesn't really get all that great.
I think the one redeeming quality he has going on is he has Mega Diancie and Meloetta, which he used last season very well. So he knows how to use those, and I think he will use those to the best of their abilities. So I think that's going to be a big factor this time, especially Mega Diancie. So I think I'm going to go ahead and give him a 7.
7 out of 10, yeah. It's not a bad draft. I'm curious about it. Like, I'm curious to see how he uses things. Like, yeah, he's Provo Pass with like Magnetbolt. That could be interesting. Who knows? But we'll have to wait and see.
And he found out how to use Full on Moongus, so that's it.
Oh yeah. Pre-season game hype.
And if anyone wants to, you can go to reddit.com/r/Showdown Battle League. In the sidebar, click on Kevin's start list. You won't regret it.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the Cleveland Fables. It's coached by Frank. We got Mega Banette, Ferrothorn, Clefable, Rotom Wash, Honchkrow, Hydreigon, Mienshao, Durant, Simisear, Jinx, and Regice.
This is the dark horse team, in my opinion. This is the team that if you don't come prepared for it, it will destroy you. But at the same time, there are definitely some questionable like big Rock's weakness, but his only way of defog or has removal is Launch Crow. But his defensive core is really good. Mega Banette, if you use Destiny Bond properly, you can get a kill like every match. So I'm curious to see what happens to this team.
I think from last season, from season 1, Frank has definitely like improved, and it shows in his draft and playing style especially. And like, you know, he has more real-time wash, which is probably one of the best multi-water. Sorry, and I can see a bit of a fire / rock weakness, but I think he also covers it very well. So and Mega Banette is such an interesting mod. I don't have experience with it, but yeah, like Jack said, if you don't prepare well for this thing for his entire draft, then yeah, it's gonna get that.
I think a Mega Banette is really cool. It can run every single status. It has Thunder Wave and Will-O-Wisp. It actually has Fawn Guard. I was just looking now. I think that's really cool. And Destiny Bond, you know, Disable. It can be really annoying to play against. And I think it's just a really cool build for him.
Yeah, I really like Frank's draft, and I think that, kind of like you guys were saying, he's going to be one you can't, no one's going to know what to expect or how to prepare for Frank, and I think that's going to be a huge advantage for him this season.
Yeah, there's an undeniable amount of power to his draft, like Mind Shadow, Hydreigon, Launch Crow. Like that's like they're all weak to parry, but I look at this as more of an offensive team that uses power to sort of overwhelm the opponents and break down their wall core. So I think if he plays his cards right, this could definitely be a scary team. But there are some sort of fairy rock weaknesses and such.
I'm really liking Durant. I've seen it used really well sometimes. Hustle can get annoying when it misses, but other than that, it can be a real powerhouse.
I really hope he doesn't bring Hustle. I don't really want him. I want him to... I'll feel really bad.
Yeah, I think Frank's got a really good defensive core, especially. And then if you look, he's got Hydreigon, which can KO a lot of stuff very easily. So I think because he has the potential to run a lot of not normal sets, he can really kind of surprise a lot of people, and then has the power to back it up as well.
Yeah. I don't really think we can touch on. He has the fighting, like a bit of a fighting weakness. I know he has like the Fable and Mega Banette, but looking at sleep and stuff. But he doesn't really have a switch in for things like, you know, say maybe like an Arcanine close combat. He's gonna have a lot of trouble switching in targeting. I mean, that's always the deal, but I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see how he plays, especially in Mega Banette. I think the end shot is really cool. Bring like stuff to
Yeah, I think if this team's used properly, it could definitely be a dangerous team, but we'll have to wait and see.
So what are we going to give Frank's team today?
I think 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 8 also.
I'm gonna go with 7.
I'm going to be a bit harsh. I'm going to go with 6. I do think that Rock's weakness is big. If you get a habit of turn 1, that's going to really hinder him.
Yeah, I don't really see like his average control. Like default Hydreigon.
Hydreigon doesn't need Hydreigon doesn't need default. It's only Honchkrow.
Really? Yeah, it's on Honchkrow, and like Honchkrow is not like your go-to default. Especially like when you have Yenchao. I mean, Yenchao is gonna be having the generator, but you have weaknesses in the last 2 picks and you pick. And like, and you want to be switching a lot, you know, Hydreigon maybe turn pivot into those powerful attackers, like a Banette or...
Yeah, it's got a bit of full turn 4 going on.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and average Frank's out to a 7.5 out of 10. And we're going to move on to the Toronto Talonflames, coached by Jack. We've got Mega Venusaur, Upa Unbound, or Upa Alt, however you want to say that. Weavile, Fernape, Zapdos, Goodra, Gastrodon, Bronzong, Kabutops, Miltank, and Dusclops.
I just want to say I'm so glad I don't have to face this team this season because it's like along with Kevin's, it's honestly one of my favorite teams. We have Hoopa Unbound, which I'm not familiar with at all. It's new, so I'm curious to see how he plays that. Mega Venus are one of the best Megas in the game, and just so defensive, but also can give an offensive presence too.
I really love Gatsby and Rudolph and Miltank and Libra, 2 Sapphires. I think that's really cool. It's going to be really annoying.
Zapdos is such a steal, UU. It's just meant to UU.
Yeah.
Because, like, if it's OU, it's still good for a pickup, but a little SSA. Yeah, definitely. I think he did it really well.
And Infernape is fantastic.
Miltank and Dusclops, pretty good core for like the lower tiers. And Gastrodon, so annoying but so good at the same time. It's the original Dawn.
Oh yeah, the original Dawn. Sizer Toe was a replacement. I guess I'll talk about my draft a bit. Yeah, because last season I really didn't like the wall force. It was pretty small and pretty predictable at times, so I'd like do things like physically defensive and Tay sort of make up for that. So I really wanted to like make a Venusaur and like do Gastrodon and Bronze on like tons of defensive options, but also like Hoopa Unbound, which will break down almost any wall in format, so that like a Sword Dance Eval or like a Nasty Plot Internet can just come in, clean up, and like I don't know, I feel like a lot of my mons are good, but they're also sort of good in the draft format. Like I got lots of priority, good amount of bolts, and just like speed, and their mons are like so. Yeah, I like this team way more than like my old team.
I'm glad I have a Drapion. Drapion is very good for me. Same with Stunting. But like there's very few things that can actually take, like it doesn't get really good like that. And that can switch in very reliable.
Yeah, I think Jack, I believe you probably got the best UU picks that were available.
Oh yeah, by far.
And then Mega Venusaur is right up there with Mega Altaria and Mega Charizard, for potential best league Megas that you can get.
I'm just wondering what you were thinking, like, when you picked Udra, did you have Gastrodon equal Rudolph? Because you have the Sap Zipper and Udra.
Yeah, after Weavile, I quite literally mapped out every single pick I was going to do every single round, and I didn't get sniped. So from Weavile onwards, that was all I planned. And like I knew, like, as soon as I got Newtalk before I got Miltank, I'm like, I know I'm getting Miltank, so I'll have 2 Sapphires, a bunch of resistances, and even Mega Venusaur, which is double resist, so I knew I'm not really too worried about that.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so I'm happy with the draft. Hopefully I can perform well with it.
Yeah, like pretty much every mon. I don't think there was a single pick that was quote unquote wasted. Just looking at it, everything looks like there could be some use for it at some point in the season.
And I also like that you have 2 modes of Plasma control. Like you can bring Raviston and Rudolph if you want. You can also bring Defog Zapdos if you think Rudolph is a bad pick for this game. And you can just mix it up. You aren't forced to bring Pokemon against the team that has like a lot of passes. You still have some options with that.
Yeah, that was the main reason I didn't want to pick off just for Rapiston, basically. Like, it's good otherwise, but like Rapiston is really niche and set it apart. Like Barbaric or something like that.
So what are we gonna give Jack? I think my pick is a 9.5 because he's right up there with Frank. Or I mean, not Frank, Kevin.
Definitely 9.5. I kind of want to give him a 10, but like,
Perfect draft.
I'm not sure. But it's really good.
Yeah, 9.5 also here.
9.5. That's an average of 9.5. You can do it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty undisputed there. We're gonna move on to the Diamond Springs Dialgas, coached by Carlos. We got Mega Aggron, Kirambi, Vintini, Keldeo, Cresselia, Florges, Tangrowth, Electros, Hariyama, Sandslash, and Dotrio.
I really
it's-
hated when Carlos and Austin trick. Really. They all like type stuff and all that. And Carlos when he was picking. Alright,
Dramatic
I'm-
effect.
This team has so much power to it. Like, looking at the first two picks, Kyron Black and Victini, like, that's just such power. And, like, Hariyama, Mega Aggron, like, Keldeo. And also some ridiculous bulk forges like Cresselia. Like, even Dodrio, like, I've used that thing before. It's, like, it hits hard. And Mega Aggron, like, he has the best Fairy Steel Dragon before that was drafted in my opinion. Mega Aggron is really underrated. It's got a really good pool. Like, the only real problem I have with this team is just this, he has a bunch of rocks weaknesses, especially Kyron Black and Victini, and his only method of hazard removal is Sand Slash, Rapid Spin, unless we use like Deepball, Dodrio. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't think Sand Slash is very good at all. It's poor man's Donphan, which is a poor man's Excadrill, and I'm already not a huge fan of Excadrill, so that's the one big problem I have this draft.
I think that Sand Slash is one of my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon, so you're getting kicked out of the league.
Yeah.
It's mine too. I love Sand Slash.
I like Sand Slash. I like Sand Slash, but I don't think it's very good.
The
Yeah,
one
but
thing,
he's gonna have to bring in real Rapid Spins initially.
the one thing
Yeah,
I've noticed about Sandslash is even though it has its faults, it has a pretty decent attack. In the having that is nice. One move that I really like on it is counter, which when you run it, you can run it bulky enough so that you're gonna be killing stuff with just that if you need to, and then you have the rapid spin to do that, and yeah.
I think that,
Three
go ahead, sorry.
Three mons that I really found interesting: Kirimbi, Victini, and Keldeo. Like those three mons put on so much pressure for your opponent that like you can't let him set up or anything. It's just so good that like the opponents are gonna have to really plan for all three of those moves, especially. And Tangrowth, super underrated. Just, I think it's gonna make this draft good.
Yeah, Are You Victor so good?
Yeah, I think that Victini is definitely one of the more dangerous OE picks because you bring it in, something is going to die, and you gotta be aware of that when you're planning for this team. I think you've got the Kieran Black and the Keldeo, like Christian was saying, to watch out for as well. And then, but at the same time, he also has a really nice defensive board. He's got the Regenerator tank growth, he's got Cresselia, which just doesn't die. So I think it's going to be very difficult to break through his defenses.
Also, Forges can like push past the Aggron, which is just that's gonna be so annoying. You spend all the time trying to wear it down and like push past into it. Yeah. But yeah, it's not that high. It relies on defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Forges or like a Sulfest Tancro, Sulfest Leafross, like they'll eat any like fire move that comes their way. So like that Hariyama, like Mega Aggron, it's kind of a mon you have to build around. You can't just throw it onto the team. I think that was kind of a problem with Joe's team last year. Like he didn't really have the support for Mega Aggron. I think this team does. So Mega Aggron is really going to be able to shine.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it's this season. I'm going to go ahead and give Carlos' team an 8 out of 10.
Right here, this is
Yeah, 8 out of 10. I think this one.
It's beautiful.
Considering we're doing decimals, I'll give him 8.5 out of 10. It's like other than the Rocks weakness and Sand Slash, like I think it's a really good draft. But I do think that'll hold them back because like they can only switch in like 4 times. So like Kyron Black.
Yeah. Well,
Oh yeah, I guess like if you're doing like Light Orb and like Noah Roost, like his team's just gonna get worn down, and you really don't want to bring Sand Slash.
I'll give myself an 8. Just might as well.
So we're going to agree with 8 out of 10 on that one. And we're going to move on to the Chicago White Sox, coached by Lewis. You got Mega Scizor, Raikou, Talonflame, Tentacruel, Espeon, Kyurem, Cofagrigus, Togetic, Malamar, Sonic, and Lumigan. And I'm going to go ahead and say right off the bat that his OU mons are very powerful, very threatening.
This is a really good draft, yeah. Like one of the only teams that I like. Yeah, I think I look at his team. Like I think every single memory he's drafted is viable and can be thought. Like this is one of the only teams where I see that as a bit of a rock weakness, but he covers it with default. Like he's misses or like he's got SBL for Magic Bounce, and he also Tentacruel draft fit. I'm not a big fan of bulky water, it's not a reliable recovery, but I do think Tentacruel fits well with this team. Like Raikou, against a team like Joshua, like this team will Volt Switch on anything. I expect Raikou will almost single-handedly break down the team. And like Sock's just power, you know. You gotta prep for Malamar, and I love Cofagrigus in this format. Just so versatile. Mummy can like shut down certain threats.
Yeah, I'm curious how well he's going to use Talonflame, because it's one of those, it does have a glaring weakness to Stealth Rocks, but at the same time it's going to get a lot of kills if this is right.
After seeing Frankie's Cofagrigus last year, and it was confirmed to have the most deaths in the season because of Rival League, I'm definitely really interested in seeing how those go.
I really like Togetic.
Yeah, Togedic's really bulky.
I really like but
Is there any way, is there a mannequin though that you put in there?
Raikou.
Yeah, you got some Pokemon like Espeon, Togetic, Cofagrigus that don't like taking knockoffs, then you have Mega Scizor, which defensively invested will easily take those. And like you got Fairy Dragon Steel, like you got like this is like a really good Firewater Grass, like good cores, really good synergy. I think every single Pokemon he has is viable, and that's like a really good thing.
So what are we going to give Lewis? I think personally I would give him a 9.
Yeah, no.
That's an 8.
I'm leaning more towards an 8.
What about you, Brian?
I think we lost Brian.
Wait,
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
What did you guys give it?
2 9s, an 8, and an 8.5.
Bob Ross and
Alright, we're going to go ahead and average that out to an 8.5. And we're going to move on to Brian's team, the Boston Breloons, with Mega Ampharos, Manaphy, Breloom, Klefki, Uniclus, Gligar, Hitmontop, Drapion, Magmortar, Gourgeist, and Swallow. What do we see?
Later, you guys can talk.
Well, I have to say, I'll start with the bottom Swallow. That was a mon I was actually really looking to draft, and it got picked right before I could. But I really like that, even though it's used pretty much the same way every time, it does its job well.
Yeah, I really like thinking about it.
Definitely really interested with your Klefki. It was your last pickup, I believe. And I'm not saying that's bad in this format. Well, it kind of is, but like
It is.
it's just so predictable, and it's just you can play around it.
Honestly, Klefki isn't as predictable as you might think. You can do a lot of things with Klefki, especially because it has good rules. And I really think that's really cool in this format because you can extend, and you can bring multiple screen sets. And you can all wear down a lot of Pokemon with P-Wave, Toxic. It's really annoying with like Magnifiers. It's got spikes. It's really actually got a really solid move pool for supporting a team. I actually planned most of my draft around Klefki. I knew I wanted to pick it from round 3 or so, and I kind of planned it from that.
And that's a good strategy. Saving an OE pick for the end that sends people.
Well, I didn't think anyone would pick that. I think that's really underrated.
Yeah. And Jack, so I know you used Hitmontop with very good success last season, so curious on your thoughts of Hitmontop and how it fits in this team.
Yeah, Hitmontop, like, this team's got hazard control and lock, and I loved Hitmontop. If I was considering going right with Delphox. If I didn't have Hitmontop, I probably wouldn't be using it in playoffs, to be honest. It's just such a good mon, and because you don't need to have it be like your only role, you have a really bulky team. You don't have to do like rest Chestoberry every single match. Technician top, knock punch. There's tons of options you can do with it. Like, I really like this draft. Like, other than a bit of an ice week, well, pretty big ice week. I think there's 5 ones, but like, I think you do have some resistances, you do have some priority, a lot of power, and a lot of bulk. So looking forward to see this in use.
I'm going to talk about what I was thinking of this draft today. The first 4 picks I got, Manaphy, Breloom, Venusaur, and Mega Ampharos, they were the 4 Pokemon I wanted to move. And then I started getting plants with it. I wanted Arcanine. That didn't work out. And I picked up Magmortar, which I really think is a really solid enemy pick. It has like a really high special attack stat for enemies. And Hitmontop is fantastic. I think Gligar is really underrated. It's got, like with Eviolite, it's really hard to kill. It's really bulky. It's really good at getting up rock. It's got U-turn, earthquake, and it's a very useful Pokemon. I originally wanted Skuntank on this team, and I was going to pick a Ghost from RU, like Skeleton or Copagrigus, but that didn't end up happening for Skuntank. I just Raytheon, and I gave up the RU pick for that because I thought Gurgeist. Gurgeist is a really, really bulky Ghost from NU. Gurgeist is super high grade.
What is this?
It's 885 but it's got 100
I wanted to think about it.
got Will-O-Wisp, Leaf Seed, it's really useful Pokemon. Swallow, I didn't want to lose and Klefki, I was talking about got a lot of utility. Really do a lot of it.
Yeah, I guess my primary complaint about this draft is how slow it is.
Yeah, speed control is definitely something you lack. But then again, you have Reuniclus, so I mean...
Raytheon is really fast.
Yeah.
Well, you do have some mons that
Josh, I love
could
your
use some speed, but it just it's all
They're pretty
about...
slow.
Hey, look at mine.
Yeah. But you have Reuniclus, so you could try to trick your one team.
Yeah. This looks almost like it's a setup for a trick room team, which I think it could work, but you do that once or twice and it get very predictable.
Yeah, I'm thought about it. Probably bringing the 15 minutes game. November. I actually like the unit of you can do a lot with it.
Yeah,
Because it's got the
definitely.
generator or magic card. You can small time set, trickling set, like the generator choice set. That's pretty capable.
Yeah, Reuniclus is a really good Pokemon.
And one thing that I think to touch on a lot, Mega Ampharos, I definitely am interested in what these lower tier megas that people drafted this season. It shows that they can be viable in the league format, and I definitely think I'm really interested in seeing how they play out.
I really think Mega Ampharos is really bulky, which is kind of what I was wanting to see. I want somebody to put in screen on very cool. And I think I did that pretty well.
Combination of Manaphy and Mega Ampharos has won both the UCL and the GBA D-League Season 2, so you got a pretty good record of that going right now. But yeah, speed control is a bit of an issue, that's why I'm really glad you picked up Swallow. But you do also have a decent enough priority, Shadow Sneak 4 guys, Klefki, Raytheon, and Sucker Punch. And a bit of an ice weakness, decent amount 5 mons, but I do think it's a really solid draft.
Yeah, the one thing I was keeping in mind building my team, or drafting my team was that I was gonna have Reflective at the end, and I was gonna have T-Wave, I could have Switcheroo Iron Ball, Switcheroo Lagging Tail, or whatever I want, really. And that would just really help my slower Pokemon catch up. Beat the faster.
Can't wait to see that tail goal sweep, bro.
But yeah, I think this is a very powerful team, but because of the speed weakness, I'm gonna have to give it a 7.5.
Yeah, I think 7.5 is pretty fair rating for it.
7.5. Yeah, I agree with that.
I'll agree with that too. I'm just gonna have to play well. And maybe
Yeah,
pick up a fatigue.
It is one of those teams where, like, I definitely could see it being really dangerous and played well. Like, Mac Moore, like, I can hit like a truck. There's definitely a lot of power on this team.
I think I can assault best, like, fast and quick.
Oh, yeah.
Like, mortar, hit one time. Traceon is actually really cool. It's actually got really good coverage. It's got Aqua Tail, Fire Fang, Ice Fang, Knockoff, Earthquake, Rock Splash, Brick Break. You can run a lot of things on that thing. It's really cool. Yeah. And you can also run Toxic Spike, which is what this team is mostly based around. Is Spike Stack with Rock, Toxic Spike.
You have Spin Walker too, so that is pretty cool. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. That's actually really cool.
Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and agree on a 7.5 out of 10 for this one. And we are going to move on to the very last team, the newest team, the New England Pat Rats. We got Mega Glalie, Bisharp, Superior, Whiscore, Feraligatr, Sharpedo, Slurpuff, Quillfish, Klinklang, Xatu, and Cryogonal.
Fighting resistance. And Whiscore, but I said this in the chat yesterday. I was going to beat him with Glalie and crap that in the creation. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with this. I don't know really where to start. That's the deal.
I'll give this team some.
Yeah?
Sorry, you wanna go?
No, I think you were gonna say it actually.
Yeah, I think we should also acknowledge this was the team where every other pick had been made before this team was made, so a lot of good stuff was gone. Admittedly, I do think something like Mew is still around, so I think that's been a really good addition.
I was looking at Torrent T.
Oh, like Torrent T, Mew, Make Sableye. Like, there were definitely some good things that went undrafted that could have been taken here. If there is a really big fighting weakness, I feel like
I was ready to Mega Lopunny.
yeah, definitely. And like I think for Alligator Sharpedo, they kind of do the same physical water type thing. Slurpuff, Klinklang, like there's a lot of physical power on this team, but I feel like it's almost too much. There's not that much special stuff because it's only specially offensive one. I also want to like run special Mega Glalie. That's my moves. Cool for that is Superior. So that could be.
You got Xatu, Cryogonal.
But those are more passive. Like,
Yeah,
those are more like
they're
hazard
very
control box, which is kind of big because he does also a bit of a rock weakness for some guys. Mainly it's hazard control guys have rock weaknesses.
Yeah, that's
I really like that. Although I do think Mega Glalie, if used properly, is so powerful.
Yeah,
It's so situational though, like so situational in effect that, but definitely I can't wait to see those explosions. Hopefully he'll run that from me.
I'd have to say, out of all his picks, my favorite one is Slurpuff because once you get up a belly drum on that, if you're not careful, it's gonna sweep the other person's team pretty easily.
Corey, care to validate?
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about Slurpuff. Yeah.
I mean, it's cake. Everyone likes cake, right?
No, I don't. Not at all.
After you used Slurpuff last season, no, you don't.
Yeah, I didn't know what the Unburden ability did until last season.
I hope he uses Bisharp better than I did, because I had such high hopes for when I drafted. It's one of my favorite mons. I think it went like 2 and 4.
I think Bisharp is like one of the only types left, like good ones, and like I ran into that
There was Mega Sableye.
Mega Sableye, yeah, it was really...
that's true. I don't know if he wanted to spend one of his OU points OU picks on Mega Glalie.
Yeah, good enough.
He went with Glalie.
Yeah, I gotta
But
say that,
overall, like, no, you go.
I was gonna say this is potentially my least favorite of the drafts. We can go ahead and say, he did have the last draft, so that did happen. But, we gave Jay's team a pretty low score. But I believe Jay's team had better overall picks than this one. There are some like his OU Pokemon are very good, but I think the rest of them kind of fall off a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that. It's a shame too, but like if we're just judging by what we're seeing here on the team, definitely, I think that it's kind of subpar. But who knows? We've never seen this guy play anything, so he could be a really good his playing style.
It's definitely a wild card team. I'm just curious to see like how he uses it.
Although I am excited to see for Alligator. That is one of my favorite UU Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Alligator didn't get drafted because it's so good. It's not a bulky water type, but it's purely offense. Like,
I think it's really
that's sheer force though.
you bring, like you gotta bring waterfall.
I think for Alligator is good. I don't know if he needs for Alligator and Sharpedo because they're basically the same thing.
Yeah, I think you should have chose one or the other. So, what do you guys want to give him?
Like 5. I'm gonna give it a 5.
I'm gonna go to 5. Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
I gave Sierra.
I'm going to go ahead and say 4.5 because I did give JR a 5, and I think that this team is. I think Jay's team is a little bit better drafted, so I'm going to say 4.5.
Yeah, that's true. I'll give 4.5 too.
All right, so we're gonna average that out to a 4.5 out of 10. Really excited to see what he can do with it. I think there are some glaring weaknesses, but I think that he has. Yeah, I think he has the potential to do some pretty cool stuff with it. But we will see. But anyways, that is the end of the teams. Anything else that you guys wanted to add?
There's just a lot of good teams. Like, I think everyone really drafted really well. Like, there's some teams I'm kind of questioning, but I think every team has the potential to do really well and be a playoff contender.
Especially with like how we arranged the division and stuff. Like we made it more balanced. It definitely is looking to be a really good season.
Yeah, I don't think there's any division that is clearly less competitive than any other this season, which is really, really exciting to see. So I think it's going to be a very, very fun season. And at this point, I don't see any team that I can pick over another to go to the playoffs, and that's pretty cool.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough season comes up. We all got really great teams.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough to
This is
for
gonna
all
be
three of
really
us.
rough.
Yeah, I think the red, really I think all of them are pretty stacked. The red one's going to be a good one, even the blue is going to be good. But yeah, I can't really pick a division that is better, in my opinion, than any other, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think everyone's really excited this season.
So if you guys had to, if we're going to take a look at week 1 matches, which start tomorrow, which ones do you guys think are going to be the matches to see this week?
Yeah. Flyers versus the Sylveons.
Oh, that's a huge match.
Yeah.
I'm versing the champion from season 1. I'm not sure how that's gonna go, but I'll try.
Yeah, I think the Sylveons and the Flygoners are going to be potentially match of the week. Also, another one is the Azelves versus the Honchkrows. That's going to be a really good division rivalry. And I think that one's going to be a good one. playoffs, I think could be a pretty good matchup as well.
Yeah, it's also going to be
Yeah, two very good teams going up, but I'm going to go ahead and throw my hat in with Christian, Noah, and Josh and Kevin as the two potential matches of the week that I'm most excited for.
I feel like every match is like a interdivision game except mine and JR's. Which doesn't really matter as much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely not. But like, man, like there's tons of good week 1 matchups where it's like they're interdivision ones too. Oh, they're not? Or did I mess that up? Oh, right, yeah. It's 4 and 6 now.
So yeah, I think it's going to be a good week, a very good season this season, and I'm really excited to see how it goes and how we can add upon this next season. But I think we're running pretty long here, so we're going to cut it off here pretty soon. Thank you guys for showing up for the call. This is our first draft analysis video. Hopefully we will be able to do a weekly video where we can kind of analyze, what all happened that week and pick our match for the week and our predictions for the week after that. But like I said, season starts tomorrow. We'll get some games coming up here in the next couple of days and see where that goes.
Alright, so guys.
Alright.
Bye.
Bye, guys.